I know of one of my friends who actually got to the visa level, and just because she didn't know that she was supposed to bring one document, she did not get the visa.
I'm sick of all these thoughts that are stuck in my head. I'm sick of wishing I could just forgive and forget. I'm sick of all these thoughts that are stuck in my mind, my mind, my mind.
Hello everyone, welcome back again to my channel. If you're just joining for the first time, welcome to the family. So guys, in today's video I'm going to be talking about some of the interview questions that the visa authorities, so people in charge of the visa, asked during the visa application. These are very important questions that I feel like they will really ask you when it's time for you to apply for your visa. If you prepare with these questions, you're good to go, and it will even guide you on the document that you need to also prepare and everything generally, so that you'll not get rejected. Okay. So that you don't get rejected, because guys, it's such a long process, and this is like the final bus stop. Like, I'm talking about applying for the school, I'm talking about applying and getting the scholarship. For those of you that get scholarship, for those of you that don't get scholarship, you know the thing that you have to go through, do exam and everything, and then when you get to the final step on how you need to get the visa, then just because you miss out on answering the questions properly, or not even knowing the document that you need to submit, then you now miss visa for waiting. That's why I'm here for you. Okay, I know of one of my friends who actually got to the visa level, and just because she didn't know that she was supposed to bring one document, she did not get the visa. She had to change her mind that, oh, I don't want this, I don't want this. I know she just a talk, I don't want this, I don't want this, but because of that, okay, I'm here to guide you, to help you. Okay, the first question they'll ask you is, can you tell me about the program you'll be studying in China? This is very important, because some of you, you just, I don't know why you apply and then you don't even know the program. How can you don't know your program? To be honest, this has happened to me before, but it wasn't for a visa application. It was actually for like normal interview, like one school interview. I was applying, you know, this kind of thing as a student. When you're applying for opportunity, sometimes you don't even know the school that you have applied to. You just be applying to so many schools. Sometimes I'll receive, do you know how many rejection messages I receive? Sometimes I'll receive a rejection message. I'm like, when did I apply to this school? Which school is this one? Do you understand? And also, like, I got an interview from that school, and to be honest, they did not put the cost there. You know, that kind of thing. A school message you that, oh, you qualify for an interview, so this is the time and you do your interview. And I did not see the cost, so I started thinking, Jesus, I don't know this what I applied though for this school. Oh. I started researching, I started asking, please. I started checking to find the course, you know, because sometimes in a school, the course I would want to do, maybe I'm applying to a school, I might not see it there. So it's not like you can judge me or say, oh, ma, how can you not know your course? But to be honest, sometimes you forget these things. So it happened to me. So I understand, but try as much as possible when you are going for interview question. Know your major, know the course, because they'll ask you, what is your major, what is your course? People don't know this. Prepare yourself, okay? The next question they will ask you is, why did you choose this particular university or institution? You need to prepare this, because especially you need to make it look like, you know, it's for the course. This is the only school probably I could do this major in. So you need to be able to also defend that. This is another reason you should have a strong reason. Why did you choose this school? Some schools, they are actually the best, top in a particular field. They might not be looked at as a surgery school like that or a good school, but when it comes to the ranking, they are actually good in a particular field. Do you understand? There are some school people hear of this school like, this school is this, but in a particular field, do you understand, that school can be ranking on top. So that's something that you can also use when you are actually asked the question, oh, I'm doing this field, and when I did my research and I was looking for the school I would like to do in China, I realized that this school was actually the top in my field. So that's the reason I actually decided that I was going to go for the school. There are so many actually reasons that you can give. I'm just giving like one example that you can actually give as a reason for why you're actually choosing that school. So number one, you need to know your field, and number two, you need to know the school and why you chose that school. The number three is, how will this program benefit your future career goal? It's very easy, but still people don't even get it right. So the reason they're asking this question is so that, do you even know what you're studying? Do you even know what you're going to become in the future? This question just summarizes, tell us what are your future goals, what are your career, what are you planning to do, that kind of thing. So now you want to use, okay, I decided to choose this course to achieve so and so. I'm going to be working for some firm. You did law or whatever field you did, so I'm going to be working for some firm. There's some things I'm going to be doing. I want to work for some company. Maybe sometimes people even go to school to even start up their own company. You can say, okay, I have a plan to start up my own company. Or maybe your family friend back at home, or your mom or your dad has a company, and this is the reason that you've decided to choose the field. There's so many reasons, but you need to prepare yourself, because sometimes they will ask, why are you doing, what are your career goals, what do you want to become, like after you've studied this, what are you going to use it to do? This is very important, so you need to prepare yourself. Another question they always ask is, did you have any previous career experience? This is also very important, because there are so many people that probably this is their first time of going to China or something like that, and they don't have a lot of experience. So they want to know, like, have you traveled before? What country have you traveled to? Have you gone to Canada, USA, UK, anything? It's not problem, even if you've not traveled before. After all, most everybody travels everywhere. I've only been to China, and so far I don't really think that's a problem for me. But to be honest, I feel like a lot of people, they feel like they always will not get the visa because they don't have like travel experience. If you have travel experience, it's always good to help you get, but it does not mean no that you have traveled everywhere. Does not mean this China they know their reasons why they reject people. And to be honest, it's really hard to get visa in China, because when I knew I was going to come to China, I wanted to go to the bank and tell the bank that, oh, I'm going to China, so maybe I would need some external or more help when it comes to converting money or something like that. So I went to the bank, and I remember telling this guy that, oh, I got China, I'm going to China. He was like, eh, you got China? And I was like, yeah. And he told me it's hard to get China visa. I was like, really? I didn't know that. But you see, it's hard. But I feel like for students, it's not so difficult. But I think maybe for business, those people that are probably going to China for business, all these things, or anything that they probably want to go, maybe visiting visa, it's probably not easy to get the visa in China. So that's something that you can also say, oh yeah, I take advantage of. The next question is, they'll ask you, how do you plan to finance your studies and stay in China? For those of you that already have like scholarship opportunity, this is a very, very simple question. Scholarship, I have a scholarship. But those of you that don't have, you need to actually provide a way that you're going to finance your study. So you have a guardian or my parents, whatever. Just need to tell them that I can do this. I can finance my study, so you don't need to be stressed. Don't think I'm coming here to work, because as a student, he's not allowed to work. So don't even make that mistake of telling them, I plan to work. Don't even make that mistake of telling them, oh, I plan to work while I'm in China. Don't do that. Do not do that. The next question they'll ask you, do you have any family or relatives in China? This is another very, very, it's a very simple question, but I feel like people forget that they have relatives or they have someone in China. But it's also important. Visa everywhere, any country that you're going to, especially Canada, most times they always like to ask that thing, do you have relatives? They really, really always ask that question. So it's something that you can also prepare yourself, prepare your mind, make sure you prepare yourself for this question. Okay, if you have relatives, tell them, know their name, where they are staying, in case they ask you, okay, what's their address, where are they staying, that you can be able to tell them. Okay, the next question they ask is, what do you know about Chinese culture and society? So this question is not always very common. Like, I feel like they don't always ask this question because obviously they know that a lot of people don't know so much about China and everything. but also prepare yourself about the question in case they ask, so you can be able to say, oh, I know this, or I know that, I can speak Chinese. For those of you that can speak Chinese, I know so many people that are not even in China, they've never been to China, they can speak Chinese. This is very good. Don't forget to put that, okay? Say, I can speak what? Chinese. Say it. It's going to give you that, that advantage. They ask you, how do you plan to adjust living in China? This is a very simple question also. If you are asked, how do you plan to adjust the culture, especially when you don't even know, say, okay, I will probably be cooking my own food, because so many people, even up to now, I'm still not used to eating Chinese food, and it's very important for you to be able to prepare yourself before you come. Prepare yourself about some of the Chinese culture that you may not be used to. I'm talking about food. I'm talking about the language. Maybe you don't know how to speak Chinese language. This is something again that you need to like prepare your mind, like prepare yourself. Some people come here and they are still not able to, adapt. To be honest, it's not easy to migrate to another place. Even when I'm migrating from one province to another province to China, I still feel like there's this adaptation. Like I've not gotten to that point where I'm so quick to adapt to a place, and I feel like this can happen to anybody. So try as much as possible to be able to prepare yourself for this question. In case they ask you, how do you plan to adapt to the culture, adapt to the society, everything, the culture and the people? You say, okay, I'll be cooking my food. At least I know that when I cook my food, I can eat my food and also try to get familiar with Chinese food. Also, the language, I plan to learn Chinese. I plan to take Chinese courses so that I can be able to know the language, because that language is very, very important. I also plan to do a lot of visiting to places. Maybe whatever province that you're going to, you can do your research about what are the most popular places there. You can even say that, oh, I plan to go to this place or go to that place to visit and get to know more about Chinese culture. These things that you should just put in your mind, okay? The final question that I feel like they can ask you while you're doing this interview is that, what are your plans after completing your studies in China? This is also something like a future plan, but yeah, you don't tell them that I plan to stay back in China, or don't do that, because I feel like this is a tricky question. Of course, a lot of people, when they travel abroad or travel to China, they plan to stay back. They don't want to go back to their country, but you don't want to say that. You want to say, oh, I plan to go back to my country to try to develop my country in so way. Make sure you're detailed, telling them all these things. It's a very tricky question. Don't go open your mouth and say, oh, I plan to get a job in China. I plan to work in China. I plan to do this. No, you can even say, oh, I plan to further my education, but I'm not yet sure what pathway. Maybe after I finish, I'll further my education. That's another thing that you can actually say. So guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.